everyone, I just got off of the Symphony of the Seas and we're going to do a little review and debrief of our trip. Let's go. Hey everyone, John here from Byte Size Cruises. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, what a great time to come check us out. Today we're going to be talking all about the Symphony of the Seas. We are a travel agency. We just try to give you the best information possible about cruising so that you can plan and go on an amazing cruise vacation. So today I'm going to debrief and review our trip on Symphony of the Seas. Over the past week, I was on the ship. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be doing vlogs of the cruise. We're going to be doing dining reviews, entertainment reviews, the whole 9 yards of everything that we normally do. We will do some specialty dining reviews, some included food reviews, all of those different things. So today we're going to talk about 7 different things. We're just going to give you little highlights. We're going to talk about embarkation, the ship itself. We're going to talk about service, food, entertainment, the itinerary, and disembarkation. So let's get into this. First things first, I hit another milestone with Royal Caribbean. If you've not sailed with Royal Caribbean a lot, basically every 140 days you get a crystal block. So this was not an easy feat, so I'll talk about this first, then we'll get into everything. It's a little bit of a struggle getting the old crystal block. So I got a note in my room on day 1 that said, congratulations, you hit your next milestone. Your crystal block is waiting. Please return this to the loyalty desk. Let us know if you would like it to receive it on this cruise or if you don't want it. So I was excited. I filled it out. As soon as the loyalty desk opened on embarkation day, I dropped it off and she said, thank you, it'll be delivered on day 4. So day 4 came and went. No crystal block. I figured that's okay. They're probably just running behind. Day 5 came and went. No crystal block. So day 6, I went down and said, hey, I just wanted to let you know I never got my crystal block. And she said, no problem. You'll get it this afternoon. Day 6 came and went. No crystal block. So I went down again on day 7 and I said, hey, I didn't get my crystal block. And she said, no problem. You'll have it before 11. And no crystal block. But I talked to my room steward and he said, I got your back, and he got it, and he said he actually had it and he forgot to give it to me. So disaster averted. But I got my crystal block. It comes in this beautiful little blue box from Royal Caribbean, and it gives you this little card that says, this is milestone making. Congratulations on your milestone. We appreciate your loyalty. And then you get this delightful crystal block of Symphony of the Seas here. So let's get into my debrief and review. So we'll start with embarkation. So I knew this was going to be a struggle. First of all, generally speaking, going out of the Bayonne Cape Liberty cruise port in New Jersey is a breeze. There are some little logistical things sometimes. Traffic does get a little bunched up at certain times, so you kind of have to bear with it, especially if anything goes wrong. So we got a note that the ship would be delayed because there's cargo ship activity going on there. So we wouldn't be able, we had to push our boarding time back an hour, which generally isn't that big of a deal. And I don't think it's a big deal at all. However, what happens when they push it back an hour is that nobody listens to when the boarding times are, which they really don't do it anyway, anymore anyway. And everybody just comes whenever they want. So again, I say it in a lot of videos. I'm sure somebody will be critical of it. But so my thing is, I understand that there are rules, and I am a rule follower. So if you are going to have rules, I would appreciate that you enforce those rules. Now I understand that there's gray area and you let things go. I totally get it. However, if you have all these rules, but you just don't enforce any of them, then no one's going to follow the rules, which is what happens with the towels on the chairs. I get it. It's a vacation for everyone. They don't want to be mean. I understand all of it. However, then just say, come whenever you want, because no one listens anyway. So it created a real backup at the port. It takes me a little more than an hour to get from my house to the port, which is fantastic. I got there in an hour, and then it was another hour to park because you have to go all the way around where everybody's dropping off or dropping someone off to get to the parking lot. And I don't really need to drop off or drop anyone off. And I said it in a previous video, I think it would be great if they had just a, hey, if you're just parking, go this way and you can cut right into the parking lot because there is a road that goes to the parking lot. So it would make sense if they said, okay, if you're parking, you go this way. If you are dropping off luggage or dropping off people, go this way. That way you have a nice flow and you don't have this like bottleneck where people are either picking people up from the previous cruise or dropping people off, and then you're just waiting in a line there. Anywho, other than that, standard procedure for Royal Caribbean, their embarkation is smooth sailing. You walk in the building, you go through x-rays, which is the biggest bottleneck because people have never been through x-ray machines before. So you get the like, I have to take things out of my pockets. Yeah, didn't you fly to get here? Or have you never left anywhere before? They have their hats on. They don't understand that they can't drink their soda through the x-ray machine. I don't know if they think it's different than the airport. It's very funny to me, but that's a little bit of a bottleneck, but it takes 2 minutes. And then check-in is super quick. They just look at your stuff, take your picture, and boom, you are on the ship. So I got on the ship within 5 minutes and headed down to the key lunch, which is always spectacular. We'll talk about that later. So once you get on the ship, embarkation was very smooth, other than the delay at the port. The ship itself is beautiful. So I'm really excited. In February, I'm going on Wonder and then Icon. And I really do like the new pool deck designs with the more colorful things, with the lime and coconut bar and those type of things, which I saw on Mariner. So it is going to be nice when Symphony gets a dry dock and gets like those like little nice upgrades if they do that on their dry dock or their, because they don't really need an amplification. It would just be nice to see some of those upgrades. And I'm looking forward to that on Wonder and on Icon, the more colorful pool deck. But the ship is beautiful. It looks great. Obviously went into service really in 2019 and really didn't get much use for obvious reasons until 2021. So it's still a pretty new ship. It looks beautiful. The ship was great. Let's talk about service. Service was fantastic as usual. As you will see in my vlogs, I had a couple service issues that were completely and totally on me. I thought they were service issues, but they were both things that I screwed up, which we talk about in the vlogs. Very funny. My room steward was spectacular. He was just great. And it came off of me being on Norwegian on my last cruise, where I felt like the Norwegian cruise stewards were just beaten down and broken. I feel like they had too many rooms that they were working on and they just didn't seem friendly or engaged or happy, which I totally understand, right? It's not on them. Complete opposite, couldn't be more of an opposite. My room steward was amazing. He opened my door for me every time I came back to the room. We talked about stuff. He was very engaging. And I know that's not easy. I know that they're busy. They work very hard. So it's really nice when you see that level of service. I even had some towel animals, which I haven't had in a while, like 3 or 4 of them, which usually you don't get. So that was really nice. And just there to help with everything that I did. So that was super, super nice. So next up, let's talk about the food. So overall, I will say that the food was good to excellent everywhere that I ate. Of course, we're going to do food reviews of all the different restaurants I tried. Every single venue, whether it's included or specialty, I tried them all. I tried everything. So we'll go into details, but overall, from a large scale perspective, the food was good to excellent at every single venue. I didn't really have any clunkers that I can think of. Nothing that like would be like I wouldn't order that again or it wasn't good. Everything that I pretty much ate was good to excellent. So food gets a big thumbs up. And again, I tried every venue. If you haven't been on an Oasis class ship yet, there are just a ton of food options. There are a ton of included food options. There are a ton of specialty dining options. And I think you can't go wrong. You'll find things that you like to eat. People love to complain. I talked to people on the cruise that tried some of the different dining options, even the specialty dinings, and they didn't love them. I get it, right? Some people just love to complain. Other people just have bad experiences. And I think sometimes we don't realize that our experience isn't the same as everyone else's. I did a video, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 ago on a restaurant on Celebrity Summit, which was the Tuscan Grill. There's a few specialty dining restaurants on there. I ate at Tuscan Grill. It wasn't a bad experience. It was just blah. And for it being specialty dining, I just didn't have a good experience. And somebody recently, like over the past few weeks, commented on it and was like really mean about it, which is, I could care less. It doesn't affect my life at all that they were mean about it. But they were like, your opinion doesn't matter. And, you know, I've eaten there 20 times and it's been great. And this and that's great. And that's why I say in every food video that I do, these are subjective. It's just my experience. Take everything with a grain of salt. Go try the restaurant. Try it for yourself. My only goal here is just to give you the best information that I have. So if I have a good experience, I'm going to tell you I had a good experience. If I didn't, I'm going to tell you I didn't. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't go there or that the food's terrible. It just means that I didn't have a great experience. Now, if you see that everyone didn't have a good experience, you can put 2 and 2 together. But again, on all of these ships, there are different staff all the time. There's different nights. There's different meals. You can get a clunker sometimes. I didn't have any clunkers. Some of the people I talked to did. But overall, widespread, everyone that I talked to really enjoyed the food. And the group that I was hanging out with the most said it was the best food they've had on a royal ship in a very long time. So that's a big resounding thumbs up. And they ate in the main dining room and at some specialty dining. So that's a really positive review. Next up, let's talk about the entertainment. I love the entertainment. I think all of the entertainment on the ship is really good. I will say there are different elements. Like I really like the Aqua Theater show on Oasis more than I like the one on Symphony. Not that the Symphony one isn't great. Hero is great. And we'll talk about that in the entertainment review. But I just like the other one better. That's all. They're both spectacular. You know, same with the ice skating show. Same with the Broadway musical, which is Hairspray, and there's another show, Flight, which we'll get into. But again, all in all, front to back, double thumbs up for the entertainment. And look, not everything's always good. I feel like no matter what I say, people are like, it wasn't all, you know, everything can't be good or everything can't be bad. I'm just giving my opinions, all right? So it's funny, I sound like I'm frustrated, but it's funny the comments that you get are like, if I say everything's good, they're like, oh, you're getting paid by the cruise? No. I just had a good time. I pay for my cruises. I pay for every one of my cruises. If you watch our channel, you know that we pay for every one of our cruises. And if I don't pay for them for some reason, like if it's a seminar cruise or something, I always disclose that. I pay for all of our cruises. Royal Caribbean could care less what I have to say. We don't have enough followers that we're making an impact either way. So relax. But entertainment was great. Let's talk about the itinerary. I do this itinerary 5 times a year, something like that, right? Every year. So it's not that I don't like or dislike the itinerary. It's just not a great itinerary. Here's what I'll say. I love Perfect Day. It's wonderful there. We'll talk about it. I did Hideaway Beach. I'll do a whole review of Hideaway Beach. I have a great time every time I go to Perfect Day. Port Canaveral and Nassau are meh. Right? It's fine. Again, I understand that not everybody gets to go on cruises all the time. I pay for them. I work very hard. I pay for them to go on the cruise. So I understand. So a lot of people only get to go on one trip a year or whatever, and they'll say, well, Nassau's, it's wonderful just to go anywhere. It is. But I'm rating it on the scale of all the different cruise ports out there, like Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Jamaica, all the different cruise ports. This itinerary specifically, out of New Jersey, it's okay. I mean, it's rough. There's not many places you can go out of New Jersey. If you're doing a 7-day cruise, you're either going to Bermuda, you're going to Canada, or you're going to the Bahamas. That's just it. There's no two ways about it. So it's fine. I had a really nice time. I always have a really nice time. There are just days that I won't get off the ship. Port Canaveral, I kind of wandered around the port, and it's just like a few seafood restaurants. There's nowhere to go unless you take a cab or do an excursion. And most of the people I talked to did an excursion to Target to go get candy or supplies or whatever and get back on the ship. So I walked off. I had to get a razor one day, so I got a razor at one of the little bait and tackle shops there. That's it. The itinerary is okay. It's not my favorite. It's like a 5 or 6 out of 10, right? It's okay. I had a good time. The weather was pretty good, so all's good there. And then let's talk quickly about Disembarkation. Couldn't be smoother. I got up, I had to walk off, and I don't know why, for some reason, other cruise lines have an issue with walk off, and it just becomes chaotic sometimes. But on Royal, it seems to be organized really well. I went down at about 5:30 in the morning to grab coffee. We had just docked. I had coffee. I went back up to my room. There were already people in line at 5:30, which is insanity. So I was like, all right, I'm going to grab coffee. Chances are if we're docked by 5:30, they're going to open everything up about 6:30, 6:45. I'll come down around 6:15 before the elevators, get packed. Because the only time I really use the elevators to get my luggage down, because I do carry on. And sometimes I'll just carry it, but if the elevators are there, I'll take them. So I headed down about 10 after 6, quarter after 6. I got in line in the dining room. They kind of start lining everybody up in the dining room. And it was maybe 15 minutes. And I was out. I was home by 7:45 in the morning, which is amazing. So all in all, Symphony of the Seas is a beautiful, beautiful ship. If you've never been on a cruise before and you want to test something out and you want to go out of New Jersey, I highly recommend checking out an Oasis class ship. The ships aren't for everyone. I'll do a full video on who this ship is for. But if you're a first-time cruiser and you really want to experience cruising, I don't think you can go wrong on Symphony. They have great food, great entertainment. There's tons of things to do. So I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. I had a great time. The weather was okay. It rained a little bit here and there. We had a little bit of a rough patch for about maybe 8 to 10 hours coming back as we passed the Carolinas. A little bit of storm. It was a little rocky. Nothing terrible. So all in all, I had a wonderful trip over a week. I met some amazing people, the Schifferleys I talked about in my vlogs. You'll see those. They were wonderful. It's some of our subscribers, just the greatest people. We have a great little family here. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Let me know if you've ever been on Symphony or an Oasis class ship. I'd love to hear your input. And we would love to have you subscribe to our channel. Come along and join us in this cruise family. Thanks so much and have a wonderful rest of your day. Vlogs will start tomorrow. See you then. Bye.